Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie Meikle. I'm 53 years old. I'm a professional makeup artist, a licensed hairstylist, hoping to inspire you. And I am here to answer a question actually. Zozel77, I hope I'm saying the name right. She asked me to compare the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation to the Natasha Denona Foundation. I happen to have both. So I have one on one side, one on the other. And I'm going to show you how it applied, show you that I had some issues with my application, nothing to do with the foundation actually. It was what I prepped my skin with, how I fixed it. And then I'm going to be doing check-ins as the day goes on so you can see how it wears in the daylight, how it sits on my skin in the daylight, different times of day, in the shadow, in the sun, the whole bit. I loved that suggestion. So if you have any more suggestions like that, please let me know in the comments and I will try to make a video out of it. It's fun to answer your questions, and it piques my curiosity too. Before I get on with the video, I hope you subscribe to my channel. I'd love for you to join us here. We have a lovely community of supportive women, and we have a lot of fun, and it's all about playing. And that's it. Let's get going. Should I take these earrings out? I think they're going to be distracting. Who's at my door? Oh, I got clothes. I ordered from Anthropologie. I'm in the mood to have some new clothes, and I'll probably show those to you. All my skincare is on. The video I just posted was comparing the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte with the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint, and I powdered. And after I filmed that video, I wish I hadn't. At the end of the day, it was really hard to see the difference between those two foundations. So I think today I'm going to not powder these two. And hopefully I'll pick the right color this time, because in my previous video, I used a color that was far too dark. So luckily I have two different colors in the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam foundation. I have the N7 and the N6. And with the Triclone foundation, I have three. Here's another one. I have the white. I also have the Haus Labs concealer, which I'll use with the Hy-Glam concealer as well. Oh, this is going to be good. The only thing I don't have on is my sunscreen. I don't have a whole lot of options, do I? I don't know if it's a good idea to try a new sunscreen under these foundations. I always used to use Vichy sunscreen all over my body, and I would actually use the body sunscreen on my face, and I never had an issue. Let's try this out. This is the Capital Soleil UV Plus Age Daily. It's a 60 SPF. It's a lotion, so I'm sure it's not going to be too hydrating to make it slip. It's different, very fluidy. Maybe put a touch more on. I wish we didn't have to wear sunscreen. I just feel like, just another layer. My color generally is N7, and I think it will be N7 today again, but let me just test it out. I like my face to match my neck. So if it blends with my neck, sorry, my chest, I should say, then I'm going to use it up here, even though I look quite light here. So I'm going to use the N7. That's how I feel my best. And then in the Haus Labs, that's 200 light medium. And let me test it right there. Ooh, that's quite yellow, eh? What a difference. So definitely this looks more neutral than Natasha Denona compared to the Haus Labs. Let me try a different color. That's way too dark too. I'm not even going to try that one. That was 220 light medium neutral. I am definitely lighter than that. And then I've got 110 light neutral. That might be too, where am I going to put this? Let's put this right here. I think I saw that she had new colors out. That one's lighter than my Natasha Denona. This may not work. I had 200 light medium neutral, light medium with neutral balanced undertones. I'm really neutral. Neutral balanced is what I'm looking for, and that's 200. So maybe if I add a little bit of white, maybe that will work. Let's try it. Okay, so that's 200, which it's not horrible. It's just not quite right. That's better. I bought that white a long time ago during a Sephora sale, actually, because I thought that would be great for any foundation if it was too dark. So let's put them side by side now. You see the difference? This has the white mixed in, and that is the full 200. Okay, let's see what that looks like up against the N7 now in the Natasha Denona. Better. Natasha Denona, Haus Labs with the white. I think I got it to work now. This one is Natasha Denona. And this one is the Haus Labs. So this one, Natasha Denona, is more fluidy, a little bit thinner consistency. That's interesting. Let's do Haus Labs on this side, and then Natasha Denona on this side. And I realized when I check in on my phone, by the way, this is going to have check-ins throughout the day in the daylight. I'm really enjoying doing that because I can see for myself how it sits a lot better. The phone is reversed. So right now I'm saying Natasha Denona Haus Labs, but outside when I'm on my phone, it's going to look opposite. It's very confusing. Sorry about that. This side's Haus Labs. I've been liking using a sponge lately, so I'm just going ahead and use a sponge. And this is with the white mixed in. My hand is not tanned. I'm going to have to boost that up a little bit. It looks funny. They don't tan my hands. And I've been going for walks with the dogs every day and I've been doing really well. I'm going twice a day now. I'm trying to get out before the weather gets bad. I'm going to go in with a clean pawpaw sponge with my Natasha Denona now. I said in my last video that this sponge is too big for under the eye. It really is. I'll go in with a brush with my concealer. Yeah, I think I got it matching. This side is the Natasha Denona, and I'm going to go in with the N7. I actually have a P2 as well, which may help color correct this area a little bit more, or a little bit better. It also may be too light. Let's just touch that a little bit. That's too light. Forget it. Yeah, far too light. Never mind. I don't need any more coverage, I don't think, anywhere else except for right here. So I'm going to go in with the same foundation, the N7. Just go into these spots, right where my vein is. Maybe a bit more on my nose, specifically here. It's interesting. I feel like the foundation sat differently the other day, and that's definitely the change of the sunscreen. So we'll see how this lasts. Skin prep matters so much. I said it in my last video, and it just really does. It can just have such an effect on the formula that you're putting on. If I were doing a model in a studio setting, I wouldn't be putting sunscreen on. Is there anything? I have a little bit to cover here, maybe. I don't have to cover those, but I find it a little distracting sometimes. That looks better. This white color from Haus Labs, the formula is beautiful, by the way. I love Haus Labs foundation. Just a great thing to have on hand. If you have foundations that are too dark in your collection and you're just like, what did I do? And you don't want to throw them out, get yourself one of those and it will be able to be mixed with everything. Maybe just a bit more coverage here. On the Haus Labs side, I've got 2 concealers. I have 13 light neutral and 11. I think I'm going to do the 11 this time. I'm on the right side, right? Yes. Just right in there. Let me pop it right up there, actually. Oops. And then right there. I got a little messy. And then on this side, I'm using the RN3 as I did the other day. It acts more as a color corrector. And it brightens up a little bit. Just like that. Since I've been doing the check-ins, I've been getting out of the house more. Is it ever fun? I'm meeting new people, I'm going shopping, I'm finding out my local stores. Today I have to do a return at American Eagle. I bought my son a couple shirts and he didn't like them. Then I checked it out with my husband, he didn't like them. So I've got to return those. And I want to go look at Sephora and touch some makeup. I'm going to powder this. I have to, but I'm going to use the Haus Labs. It's a Bio Blur powder. I really like that one. And it's nice and light. It's finely milled. I know it's not going to have a negative impact on my foundation. So I'll use it on both sides just to give it a fair go. I don't want that under here as much as I do here and here. I ordered the Haus Labs contour. I should have waited to do this until it comes in. I don't think it's going to be in until next week though. I have the Natasha Denona bronzer. I'm going to go ahead and use that on both sides. I know it's going to mesh well with both. This is the Natasha Denona side. I would really like to get this in the darker color. Find my skin shinier than normal. It definitely has to be the sunscreen. Why is that? UVH lotion protection, UVA, UVB. I'm noticing it on my chin that I'm shinier than normal. Because oftentimes I'll sit here and I'll put layer after layer after layer. I didn't do any of that today. I only used the sunscreen. Everything else had time to sit in. So we know if this is a fail, we know why. We'll learn something. We always learn something when we're here together. Before I get off here and go do my eye makeup and everything, I will powder. I'm gonna use a powder puff. Got it from Amazon. I can link that for you. And I'm gonna press it in on my hand. Make sure it's all distributed nice and evenly. Make sure I have no creases. I don't want to set the creases. I purchased this on my own, by the way. I purchased all of these on my own. The money that goes into this channel. Definitely my chin needs it. Wow, that's shiny. And when it's shiny, I see my pores. I actually did some makeup for a friend of mine and her friend, who is now my new friend. And Heidi, she brought her pore filling primer to fill her pores. I didn't use it. I just used powder. So everybody has their own unique ways of doing it, but I don't really find that the pore filler is necessary, really, but you do whatever you want. I find powdering that really helped, and it did work for her too. I didn't need to use the pore filling primer. I used the powder and everything was good. I'm gonna use a Haus Labs blush. I don't have, oh, I have a Natasha Denona blush, but they're completely different colors, and the blush formula doesn't matter anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I believe this is called French Rosette, using my favorite blush brush. This is a Rephr brush number 05. I love this brush. It's so soft. I love all Rephr brushes, by the way. Using the MAC Fix Plus Stay Over. I have to be honest, I'm not loving either side as much as I have before. And I think it's my skin prep because I love the Natasha Denona Foundation. I love the Haus Labs Foundation. I have a feeling this isn't gonna last as long as it normally does because of that, which is so unfortunate. That means that this, it's not a waste. It's not a waste of time. It means we're learning something. I'm glad I tried it. Is it because I played around? Like, did I get my finger in there or something? This side is lasting better. Or is it what I powdered with? I don't know, maybe I need something more. The first time I tried the Natasha Denona Foundation, I didn't use powder and it lasted. I've got little flecks of dark stuff. Is that the mascara? Or maybe it's the eyeliner. Goodness. You know, some days just don't go as well as other days, and that's okay. I feel like I can make this look better by potentially using a different powder. When I look at my chin in this light, I feel like texture is enhanced, actually. I can fix this. I can make this work. I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty. This is in Pound Cake, and I believe this is gonna give me a nicer coverage. I hope. I feel like it's gonna blend everything and magically cure the whole situation. And I'm just gonna go in, because I feel like there's something about this whole look that's just too slippy slidey. And I know it looks powdery now, but don't worry. I'm gonna spray it and it's gonna all mesh in. So this is the Natasha Denona side. Much better. Haus Labs powder I would use for when I don't have to worry about a lot of shine. I'm relying more on powder as I get older than I did when I was younger. I had less texture then though. Now if it's shiny, I can see all the texture. Wow, that looks so much better. Okay. And this looks way better than the Maybelline Fit Me powder. So if I had to choose between the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder and the Huda Beauty loose powder, it would definitely be the Huda Beauty. It's one of my favorites. Look at that. There's no heaviness under my eyes. I feel like this looks good actually, but I'm gonna, blush is something that wears off the fastest. I'm gonna dip it in the powder, but I don't wanna go heavy because I quite like the softness of this. I'm just gonna lightly, yeah. So I push it in, but then I push it into the brush and onto my hand so it splays a little bit more evenly. Just so I can get that light dusting of powder, of blush, and not have it kind of splooch in one spot. That's better, I feel like. This is the Prada highlighter. Reminds me very much of Hourglass. It's got that really nice, elegant luminosity to it. Doesn't add too much shine. Feels elegant. Okay, I gotta go. I will check in a bit in daylight and in different lights, different times of the day with my phone camera. Remember, it is reversed. I'm gonna try to figure that out actually. But if I can't, just remember that it's reversed, and I'll see you in a bit. It's about an hour after I applied my makeup and my eyes keep tearing today, especially on this side for some reason. Good thing I don't have my contacts in. I just wanted to check in and show you my skin. If I were outside, I wouldn't be able to see. It's so bright outside, so I thought I'd show you in the car instead. This is the Haus Labs side, and then this is the Natasha Denona side. And I'm really happy with the way this looks. I'm really happy I powdered it. I feel stressed today for some reason. Well, I know what the reason is, and I don't need to feel stressed, but I feel stress. When you know it's not your thing to be stressed about, but you feel stress anyway, and you're trying to let it go, but for whatever reason, my body keeps hanging on to it. This stuff in my head and in my body has nothing to do with me, but I'm feeling it in my body. So I'm trying to breathe just a little bit. You have those days? I'm sure you have those days. Sorry for my little vent there, but maybe that's what I needed to do. Maybe I just needed to vent and just not pretend that everything is fine. Yeah, I feel better. On that note, actually, my husband and I watched Inside Out. It's a cartoon, and we don't have young kids to watch this anymore, but I desperately wanted to see this movie. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's the emotions of this little girl, and sadness was a big part of it. And joy just wanted this little girl to be joyful, and sadness just kept getting pushed off to the side and getting in trouble, because if she was around, then the little girl would get sad. So joy wanted to silence sadness. I said, she just needs to feel sad. And Dave said, well, maybe she at this moment needs to be happy. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. She needs to be allowed to feel sad. She's sad. She needs to be able to express that. And that was the whole point. Joy started realizing that sadness was needed. When the little girl felt sad, her parents came around her hockey team came around her, they supported her. She felt supported. She then felt joy because she felt supported and not alone. Dave says, well, does sadness get to feel joy? And I'm like, yeah, sadness is going to feel joy because she's going to feel needed and supported and heard. Sadness actually got a little smile on her face. When the little girl was allowed to be sad, she cried, her parents hugged her, and then the little girl had a smile on her face because she didn't feel alone anymore. This whole idea that we have to just smile through everything, it's hurting a lot of people. I'm realizing that now, that a lot of my health issues over the years was me being silent. And it's not people that forced me to be silent. I chose to be silent. I pushed through. I pretended to be happy when I wasn't happy. And I did that because I had so much to be grateful for. Who am I to be sad about life, right? I have a house. I have food on the table. I have a husband who loves me. I have beautiful children. I have parents. I have, who am I to be sad or upset? Everybody has trauma. Everybody has sadness. Everybody has emotions that they need to express. And this past year and a half, I've really allowed myself to express my emotions. And it hasn't been an easy ride, but I'm getting better. And both my husband and I are growing together, and our relationship is stronger, and I feel healthier, and I feel like my body's getting healthier. I feel like I just wasn't listening to my body. On a lot of my live streams, I said, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to teach you how to do it. And one of the biggest things I've learned so far is not pretending. If you're not expressing your true self, if you're not being authentic, if you're pretending to be happy when you're not happy, if you're holding all your sadness and your frustration inside, then your body holds it as energy and it will come up as pain. The more I express myself, the more free I become. It's like a caterpillar coming out of a cocoon, and I'm finding my wings. And it's freeing. I know what kind of energy is poking at me today that's making me uncomfortable, and it's nothing I want to share. It's nothing that's a big deal either. I don't like conflict. That is why I've been a people pleaser all my life, and I think that's why that created a lot of illness in my body. People pleasing and trying to fix everything else and everybody else's happiness and discomfort, and that's silly. So today, I just got to let that stuff go. And it's crazy. It sounds like that's some big deal. It's not. It's not a big deal. But in my head and in my body, it feels like a big deal. That's something I have to work on. I think maybe some shopping therapy might help. I'm going to go and do some shopping therapy. Yeah, I'll check back in a bit. I had no idea that there's a Sephora at the Tanger Outlet in Ottawa. I just tested out the blonde, the taupe, the soft brown, and the caramel. The blonde is nice, actually. It's not too ashy. I could use blonde, taupe, soft brown, or caramel. Caramel is more red. Soft brown is warm. Taupe is neutral. And blonde, I would say, is like, it's a light, warm neutral. This is the new formula for Charlotte Tilbury. It is heavy. If you want a full coverage, for sure. I would have thought I'd be a 5 neutral, but it's far too dark. If you don't have a proper shade match, you're in trouble because it's a legit stop and start. It feels like it's kind of dry. Oh my God, I did so much damage at Sephora. And I know the sale's coming up, but I did it for you guys because I really want to try some products out and really give, you know, good advice on what is worth spending money at the Sephora sale. I tried to get them to tell me when the date was. They said they didn't know. The girl really did try, but I have a feeling they aren't allowed to know, or they aren't allowed to tell us anyways, because then who is going to buy today if the sale's coming up? I'm excited. Oh my God, look at this bag. I already use this. I use this all the time, and I've shown it in a lot of videos, except for this is much bigger. So I'm going to try this out for you. It's huge. Speaking of Haus Labs, since this is what the video is about, I got it in the color 12 Light Rosy. And I am going to be very clean with this because I want to be able to use this on people as well. I have a feeling it's going to do a really nice job color correcting around my darkness here. I did pick out 2 colors just to see which one would be better. This one is blonde. I think blonde and taupe. I wanted all of them. This is the type of thing, though, it's really hard to clean to work on people. So I'm probably going to stick, when I have clients, I'm probably going to stick with pencils because I can sanitize and clean those much easier. I got blonde and taupe, and I wanted to try caramel to see how red it would look, but I know it's going to look pretty red. So blonde and taupe are probably the ones for me. I think I got taupe. Soft brown is also good, but they didn't have that in stock. For me, it's a video, right, to show you the difference. And I got the Danessa Myricks. I'm so excited. The one at the Bayshore in Ottawa doesn't have these. And the new one here at the Tangra outlet has the Danessa Myricks shadow sticks. And the girl that helped me was so nice. I wish I had gotten her name. I'm hopefully going to become friends with these people. So these are exciting. Oh, they're gorgeous. I think I just got one of those. And the other thing I got was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Smooth Blur Contour. I got the Smooth Blur Bronzer for fair skin. Oh yeah, I got the Estee Lauder Futurist Soft Touch Brightening Skin Sealer. I got 2C in this formula, and I got 2C in the Double Wear. So I want to put those side by side. I have a feeling I might like the other one better, but I can make anything work, so we'll see. I know that this is going to have a drier consistency, and it's going to probably last longer. I'm curious. Might just be for different moods, right? Oh yeah, I got the Makeup by Mario foundation. I hope I picked the right color. I got the color 4.5N. I think it might be a little off, but whatever. I didn't like the original foundation. I bought it and I actually returned it. This one feels better. I don't know that there's the mica in it that there was in the other one. I don't know if it was mica, but there was a sheen to it, which wasn't good for me. I didn't like it. Hopefully this one will be better. I like Makeup by Mario. And that's it. I've been good though. I haven't been spending my money on makeup, and I was saying to my husband, you know, I really need to get on this and start showing some stuff that I haven't shown in a while. It is my job. Never ever think that you need all this stuff that I show. It's actually fun doing the drugstore reviews because I feel like that's for everybody, and this may not be for everybody, but I'm excited. I'm a Sephora girl. I worked there. I worked at MAC. I worked at all the department stores. So for me, it's like a second home for me. So I'm excited when I go in there, and I'm excited to show you everything. Oh, let's talk about my makeup for a second. I'm hot. I have a sweater on today. I don't know why. Yep, everything looks good. It's nice. It's not hot and humid out. We're in Canada, so it's not like a crazy hot day. I've been walking around. Shopping is not easy work, so I have been active and putting my makeup to the test. Anyway, I'll check in a bit. It's 7:24. I applied my lipstick, obviously. I'll link it in the description box for you. I can never see what my makeup looks like. To me, this looks really good. It feels the same on my skin. My skin feels comfortable. There's no tightness, doesn't feel oily. Let's see. Looks good. Looks good. My under eyes look so much better today than they did the other day, thank goodness. So even with the Huda Beauty powder under my eyes, I don't look as crepey as I did the other day. And that was partly the color that I chose. And if you haven't seen that video, I will link that in the description box as well. It was really interesting. I have a 10 times mirror and a 20 times mirror. Oh, that's better. Okay, the 20, you're inverted unless you have it this close. Oh, I It's great for plucking eyebrows though. Oh, I need to do this more often. Wow, I got squirreled. See, if I had dark hair, I would have noticed that right away. But since I guess that's the advantage of having blonde eyebrows. When they get out of whack, you don't see it. They're just fuzzy. Do we really need to see ourselves that close? No, I felt pretty good about myself until I did that. Nobody's looking at us that close, so don't do that to yourself unless you want to find your eyebrow hairs that you can't see. Otherwise, just look at yourself from a distance because that's how everybody else is going to see you. And looking at myself from a distance, I think everything looks good. My blush looks good. My bronzer stayed on, both on this side and on the other side. I can see a bit of redness around my nose. Maybe I could touch up a little bit here, but that's normal. That will happen with everything. My pores look okay. Bottom line, what is the difference between these two foundations? One is thinner than the other. I think they have different skin caring ingredients in them, but they are both skin caring. I have seen videos of people who have oily skin talk about the Haus Labs and say that it wasn't for them because they have oily skin and the Haus Labs didn't last as long as they wanted to. I have seen people talk about the Natasha Denona who have oily skin and say that it lasted for them. So if you have oily skin, definitely look at those reviews like Risa Does Makeup and Nikki LaRose. They have oilier skin. I don't have oily skin, and they both work well for me. Thank you, Zozelle, for asking me to do that. I really appreciate it. If you have something that you want me to try, please leave it in the comments. It's really fun, actually, to get different ideas from you. All the products that I use today will be listed in the description box for you. They are affiliate links. If you even click on those affiliate links, even if you don't use them, it shows the brands. I have an audience. No pressure. Just you being here and watching the video and supporting me. I feel it. I love you. Thank you so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.